It's live. And it's on my birthday. So
Is it really your birthday
it's
today?
my birthday, yes.
Happy birthday. I'm so honored that it's your birthday.
Thank you.
Are you going to want a birthday reading now?
I'm good. I'm
That's
good.
when my friends say to me, it's my birthday, I know what's coming next.
Stop it, really?
Yeah. So they always go, Riz, meet my friend so-and-so. It's her birthday. And I go, okay, I know her, so let's sit down.
Oh, that's so funny. Friends, I'm super excited for today's episode. We'll start with our quote of the day, and then I'll tell you all about Riz. Life is a mystery only love can solve. And that is from Riz Mirza, our guest today. I just happened to meet him at a little evening at Miss Jessica Alba's, and we had such a great time. And I said, I think this would be really cool to do on the show. So we are doing something different today. We have Riz here in studio, and we are going to be doing some live psychic readings. Now, he is a gifted psychic medium and a shaman. With his extraordinary abilities, Riz connects with the spirit realm, unraveling mysteries and guiding souls towards enlightenment. Riz is bridging the gap between worlds, so we are really excited to go beyond the veil today. I've never had a channeling experience before you. I've always been a fan of Esther Hicks, and I've watched her channel Abraham. And if you guys are fans of Esther Hicks, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, look into her. She's really cool. But her voice doesn't change when she channels.
No.
And so when we were there and, Riz starts us with like a little meditation, and then all of a sudden his spirit guide, his Abraham, is Red Eagle.
Red Eagle.
You have a few.
I have a few.
But Red Eagle comes in, and now Riz is a whole different person. And I have to say, it was really shocking. I was taken completely aback. I didn't know what was happening. I was a little freaked out.
Right.
And so it was a lot. And then I settled in. I was like, okay.
And you were right close, sitting pretty close.
Yeah, I was right next to you,
Yeah, you were up in
basically.
the action. Okay.
Yeah. But I watched this whole experience with everyone in the room, and I watched Red Eagle just go into each person so deeply and so accurately. And what also was interesting is, again, it was a small group of us. I felt like I was getting messages for me through every single person. Does that happen a lot?
It does, because I think that, look, I always believe that you are never in the wrong place at the wrong time. And people say this a lot. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But my philosophy as a medium and as a shaman, and in my own experience, I would say that you're never in the wrong place at the wrong time, because if you have a belief that there is a perfection to this universe, some people call that God. God is the perfection of this universe. Some people use the word source. In Star Wars, they use the word the Force. Then there's the universe, the ancestors, whatever word you use for this understanding that there's much more going on and it's connected. I say, then how could you ever be in the wrong place at the wrong time? That usually means that something bad or awful happened, and that shouldn't have happened. Yet everyone who's watching this podcast knows, and everyone who's sitting at home knows, that some of the things that felt the worst and were the worst had so much to do with who you are and what you're doing in the world later.
Yeah.
So how can we do that? Look, working out isn't fun. And sorry, it isn't fun. I don't say I love to work out. I love the results of working out.
Yeah.
But who the hell likes to go to the gym? Like, you don't really like it. And you don't really like getting a PhD and a 4-year degree or a master's degree, but you do it.
You don't like taking the cold plunge, but you do it.
No, I don't.
So I think I would love to have people understand kind of how you got into this.
Sure.
Because you do a multitude of things, right?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you meet someone, they're just a shaman. Sometimes you meet someone, they're just a psychic. Sometimes you meet someone, they're just
A medium.
a medium. So you do a lot of
Well, can we
these
break it
things.
down? I think it's good
Yes.
to
And then for anybody who's watching and listening right now, thank you guys for joining us. We are going to get to you, and he will do readings, but I want you to know a little bit about him before we start, and a little bit about how he works.
Well, let's talk about what a medium is. At this point, if you are awake to any degree on the planet and watch TV, you're seeing all the medium shows that have been around for forever. And so that a medium is a person who connects you to loved ones who have crossed over to the other side. I've even had experiences where I've connected people to pets that were on the other side.
Oh.
So That actually is really popular now. Now people really want messages from their pets.
I know.
I can't
we
do an
love
hour
them. I
of
just
pet
got
messages.
chills.
The pets never have an hour-long message. It's usually just a couple of sentences or emotions that they want to convey, or thoughts or observations. A psychic is one who tunes into your life. I think of a psychic as a person who almost is like in a, those those news helicopters that fly over the city. They can see what's going on in different parts of the city. They can see there's a fire over there. Don't use that highway. Oh, there's a really cool fair over there. There's a lot of good traffic going to this new amazing fair, right? Go over there. Or that's where the beach is. So they can see ahead of where you are. They can also understand the road you've been on. And they're not necessarily mediums. Then you have a channeler. And channeler is one who, and a trance channeler is one who goes into a trance. And that means a deep state of meditation. It's almost like going to sleep. And during that time, a spirit guide enters the body and speaks. Now, who are the spirit guides? People go, enter the body. What are you talking about? Enter the body. Yeah, enter the body. Channeling means that some energy is flowing through you. Everyone out there, whatever you do or you step out of the way, that is where you channel. What does that mean? The word canal, right? We have the Suez Canal. We have the English Channel. It means an opening through which the water flows. And so when you channel, you're opening your own, I want to say your own passageway or tunnel to energy flowing through you. So every culture, no matter where we're from, you go back far enough, your ancestors were all in a tribe. And in that tribe, there was the farmer, there was the healer, there was the medicine woman, there was the warrior, and then there was the shaman and the channeler who brought messages in from the ancestors.
Ooh, I got chills.
So this is part of everyone's history. Every single human being's ancestors had channelers or shamans. So shaman is, now that term, boy, not all shamans wear feathers and beads, okay? And shamans are a term at this point. I even say there's shamans on Wall Street. There's shamans in media. They are people who take you from where you were into the new version of yourself. And that can be through many methods. Traditional shamans, tribal shamans, whatever you want to call that. They will use everything from music, drums, plant medicines, rituals, ceremonies, nature walks, meditations, energy healings to bring you into this new thing. You know, the New York Times had a very interesting article some years ago, and it said mediums are the new life coaches.
Wow.
That was very fascinating.
Yeah.
Because
well, when you kind of...
we used to be death coaches, now we're life coaches. So
Yeah, well, you kind of get to know a little bit more about yourself, so it helps you in your journey, I think.
It does, because you're learning that the thing that you always suspected, that there's more, right? We say these words supernatural or paranormal. And to me, the supernatural is just that you have a much more expanded understanding of the natural. Because spirits and energies, that's not supernatural, that's natural. Every culture refers to it. So how is it supernatural? And paranormal is the normal. Yes, there's spirits almost everywhere on the planet. There's energies that we know nothing about. There's phenomenons that we know nothing about. So is that paranormal? If you only are stuck in what you think is normal, this is the chair, this is the podcast studio, you have a traffic ticket I need to take care of. And then you never pay attention to energy and the subtleties of messages that come through. See, messages come through very subtle. People think when I channel, Red Eagle or these other spirit guides who come through a very strong energy, right? I mean, it fills the room, and so they go, wow, it must be such a wave, a rush to come through you. Actually, it's not. I have to be in a very sensitive place, almost like a baby sleeping. I have to be that gentle with myself. And then when I feel the spirit guides coming, it's almost like a little feather on my shoulder, because sensitivity is the key. And that's a lot of my teachings have been about. If you want a better life, you have to not be less sensitive, but more sensitive.
Whoa. Where I think all the conversation now is, oh my God, I'm such an empath. And everybody's an empath now, and everybody's, so
you want to know about
trying to protect themselves.
Right.
Right. We're all going the opposite way. Like, let me close off because I can't be hurt anymore. You're saying the opposite.
Well, because Maria, the reason why we love you is because your sensitivity brings you to be able to do this work. This is your channeling. You're being the passageway of all these wonderful talks that come through on your podcast, and then your own story. And so, what makes us love great artists? Those songs that kill us or inspire us. It's because the artist went into their sensitivity 100 times more than we ever do. And then we honor that because, wow, you really impacted us. Great leaders that have come and gone, all of them because they were sensitive. That's what propelled them. See, the thing with when you're an empath, and this is when I coach empaths, is what I teach them is, see, a lot of the time empaths, they can't go into crowded places, or they go, I can't be in this room, I can't be in this party, and I can't be in this, I got you. Or I feel negative energy. The thing is that that's just stage one of being an empath, finding out what's wrong. But when you become a developed empath, you start to feel the magic that also exists, the happy things. Because, okay, so we're sitting here right now, right? You might have an empath that may go, oh, I can feel in this chair that someone was really disturbed in this chair. Okay, but what about the 200 people that were really happy? Do you feel them?
Wow.
They never feel them. They never go, there were so many joyful people in this chair. They'll focus on that one. And then they'll harbor it. And they get stuck because they haven't developed their empathicness.
Whoa, I've never heard anybody say this.
Yeah. So my work is, when I channel, I also feel that anytime that we are good at what we do, that rubs off on people. Like, if you live in a house with really great singers and you're not such a great singer and they're always singing, your ear starts to get developed.
Yeah.
So I actually think that sensitivity is contagious, and that's how we kind of like help shape and shift the world, right?
That's so cool. Yeah. Kevin, you always say similar stuff like, we can rise and our game will get better around people who are better in all the different areas. So
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So do you think that when we die, our vibration drops or rises?
Our energetic
soul, yeah.
vibration, I think it rises.
Okay. And what do you think happens to people when a loved one dies, someone who's left here on the planet? Does their vibration rise or drop?
What would the difference be between me and my loved one dying? We
No,
all
no,
rise.
I'm saying that, let's say my best friend dies.
Okay.
So my best friend's energy has risen,
Yeah.
gotten higher.
Oh,
and what happens to my energy?
down,
It
yeah.
goes down. So now we're like this. We're no longer on the same frequency. So a
Ooh.
medium is in the middle.
And you
can hear
help
you
bring
both.
everybody together?
That's right. So our loved ones do a lot of work to try to get closer to our frequency. And then we can't stay in the depression. Oftentimes when we're depressed, we don't create. We usually create when we're outside of the depression, when we have a little perspective. So that sensitivity has to be mastered, right? So honoring that grief and then being able to say, okay, let me connect to the love. Oftentimes when our loved ones are with us, it's when we're our happiest, not all the time when we're crying at their grave. A lot of the time that grieving is for us to heal. Mm-hmm. And we're like, can't you just give me a sign? But they are giving signs. It's just you're not aware of it because you need it to be like a lightning bolt or something. So I teach people to be more sensitive and to connect the dots.
I really like that. I like, rather than leaning out of sensitivity, leaning into it and then taking that next step in the journey of, okay, if you don't feel good here, how can we look for the good? Because I had a Reiki healer tell me once before, she's like, you always can find the monster in the room.
Mm.
She's like, but you're finding the monster in the room all the time. And so she's like, stop looking for them. And I was like, oh, you're right.
Okay,
I'm going
so-
in and I'm looking, I'm trying to spot the danger.
Right.
Where's the danger?
So what's
I
underneath
stopped
the
that, thank
monster? But
God.
what's underneath the monster's mask? Because it's a mask. It's not really a monster.
Fear, pain,
Sadness.
suffering,
Sadness. Everything starts with, I come from the place that,
lack of love.
yeah, someone asked me recently, what do you think, what have I discovered after 16 years of doing readings, thousands of readings, and channeling circles here in LA and around the world, and what have I discovered about people? And I really found that they're really innocent. That's the word that I feel. And some people have said, but you've dealt with a lot of unpleasant people who just acted like, fill in the word. And I go, yeah, but I still see innocence behind it all the time, because everyone that ever does harm, they say hurt people, right?
Yeah.
But what creates anger? You go to the prisons, what do you think is going on there? You don't understand that these people went through hell growing up, that a portion of them are innocent of the crime to begin with, and then the rest of them are abused in some way, whether it's sexually, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and that created the behavior that you see. Yeah, they may be guilty of the crime. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about innocent in the soul. And some of the pain is so deep, and some of the behavior is so disturbing. But at the root of it, this was a little child once, and they weren't like this. So at the root of all of it is innocence. So I always like to say that even the monster that you find, take the mask off and you're just going to see a wounded child. And that's why the quote that you said at the top, my quote about that life is a mystery only love can solve. Yeah, it's beautiful to listen to and it's poetic, but what is the actual practical hardcore meaning? Because there isn't a problem on earth that you can say to me right now that love cannot solve. Poverty. Oh, okay, so you mean people don't have enough to eat and there's not enough opportunities? Okay, more love. There's plenty of enough food, it's just not being shared. Okay, so more love. Oh, opportunities, more love. There's plenty of things to do, meaning people could have work. How about more love we created for them? Oh, what about emotional disturbances? More love. More love, more love.
Illness.
Name the problem.
Illness,
more love. How? Because we certainly we're not even generous with the money that's allocated to helping people afford healthcare because it's a business, or that can't be love. Like, it's just love. So it always comes down to what's the greater power, right? Interests or love. The moment we get more interested in love and we realize that we don't come from lack, this happens on an individual scale, and this happens like across the world. Like, countries feel lack. We're fighting over energy right now. People go, we're living in the information age. We are not living in the information age. We are living in the energy management age, because even this podcast is about energy management. Hopefully, you're going to feel better and feel healed after this, or opened up. That is going to increase your energy. The supplements that you're looking at as you're scrolling on Instagram and saying, oh, that'll make me feel better, more energy. Everything is for more energy. You go on vacation because you're going to replenish your energy, and you want more energy.
you want your green tea.
You want your green tea. It gives you more energy. You'll take it.
Interesting.
Right? And so guess what else? Countries are fighting over energy resources. They'll do anything for it. And that energy source that we're using right now is limited. See, when I talk about this work, people talk about, oh, but aren't we going to talk about psychic stuff and this is metaphysics. If you don't understand how energy is showing up in the world, and it's not inseparable from how it is inseparable from emotional reality, then you're going to constantly be battling between what you think is real and not real. So people go, I don't know if spirit guides are real. Do you need to know if they're real, or do you need to know if the message means something to you? Because at this point, I've seen it all. People who are like, I don't believe in spirit guides. I don't know what that is.
I'm sure you've heard a lot of religious people probably are not favorable to it too,
who
right?
Who cares? I'm not religious, so what is it? If I was religious and then they were religious, then it'd be a conversation.
Yeah.
But what's the point of that conversation? I think that you can clearly see that people are going to stick to their side of the fence most of the time. Welcome to Earth. But I always say, be flexible. Nature teaches you to be flexible. It's very clear that there's things that we don't know about. So the spirit guide spoke to you in our circle.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel energy, obviously. And you saw the message that were going around. I was saying no one's ever in the wrong place at the wrong time. The reason why all those people gathered that night where we connected and met is because that's who was supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the messages were, there was something going on that everyone had in common. I don't remember, because I don't remember the messages usually. I don't even remember your message. But I do remember that she was like, it was a great evening. Yeah, you could say that, but it was deep.
It was intense.
Let's say it was intense. I like how she said, it was a great fun evening.
He said something and I go, you were tough on me. Radical was really tough. I was like, damn, he's really going into me. But
I have been called the WWE of the psychic world. So,
Well, I'm 4-0 in the WWE.
What do you mean?
So I wrestled.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, I don't know anything about that.
I'll share.
All right.
But what's funny is we had a conversation. I'll just share really quick and then we'll get to your readings, guys. We were just having a conversation in the kitchen about how I struggle with organization. And I really try really hard. And it's just frustrating. And then Red Eagle's first thing he says to me is, I see plates and cups and bowls and everything in the same cupboard, and I go, I'm looking at you, I was like, what is he trying to get to? And then basically you said, or Red Eagle said, disorganization is your issue. He's like, I can go to the big stuff, but I'm going to go to the small stuff that you need to fix so that the big stuff gets easier. And everyone in the room looked at me because we literally were just having this conversation.
Really? And then our circle started. Okay,
Yeah.
so you were in the kitchen before I got there.
Yeah,
and
before
okay,
you got
you.
there.
All right,
So
all
it
right.
was funny. So I'm really excited
And
for
he's-
everybody to have these moments because it's like I said, when someone goes in and they just nail it,
Yeah.
it's it's mind blowing.
And it must be, for you being a person that people know, and interesting because the messages have nothing to do with like what you do. It's about inner workings of what things that you're thinking about or pondering or working on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I love that about messages. I have so many stories. It'll be in the book, the next book.
Sounds good. Are you ready to maybe dive
Are
in
we? You
here?
want to dive in? You want to do some? Are we there already?
I think we're
God,
there. I mean,
time
I
flies.
would like to talk to you for hours, and we'll have to do a whole other episode. But I know all of these people probably have jobs. They're like, hold on, I'll be there soon.
Why don't we? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Do some readings,
And
then
then we
we'll
can chat
talk
later.
more,
Yeah.
and then we'll. Okay, let's
Okay.
do that. So,
So who do we have on deck, Natasha?
So we are going to be bringing Anne in first.
Okay. Hi, Anne.
Hi, happy birthday, Maria.
Thank you.
hi there, Anne. Where are you in the world?
Hi, I am in Vero Beach, Florida.
Nice, 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 nice.
Humbled and honored to be part of this and to meet you, Riz, and I'm really excited for the next few moments.
Okay, well, great. The first thing I wanted to ask you, Anne, is two things are coming up for me as I hear your voice and kind of look over there and see you on the little screen. Number one is, do you ever get a chance to spend any time with the horses?
Oh, as a child, that was my number one love and my first job.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford horses as a kid, so my dad went to one of the local stables and made a deal with the owner of the stable that if I came and cleaned all the horse stables out, I could get riding lessons. So it was kind of the first introduction to barter and hard work that I had.
Oh my God, those lessons. Well, the reason is, is that's why I asked you, do you get enough time to spend with the horses? As obviously the answer is no. And
Right,
they're
no.
kind of calling you to come back
Okay.
to that original state of joy that you had, because they are like you. And here's the message coming from the horses to you. Horses are what they call prey animals. So horses are, meaning that they don't attack other animals attack them.
Sure.
And yet they're so powerful.
Yeah.
It's like you don't go near a horse. A horse will kick you from here to the moon, right?
Yeah.
But horses,
And
so horses teach the collaboration between species. How? Because we shelter them and feed them, and they allow us to work with them, ride them, and when they're done with us, they'll run away. But you can't be a pushover with them, and yet you can't also dominate them. So you can't let them
Gotcha.
control you. And so you're like that. You've been learning how to collaborate with people and deal with people, because what I feel immediately with you is that you bite your lip when you know you should be saying something, and you go, I don't want to create this hassle with these people and create drama here at work. It's like, but and I don't want to be a gossiper and then tell someone this person is doing wrong. And so the horses are saying you're going to learn how to communicate all of that better if you just spend more time with them. So that's my message to you right now.
It's interesting that you even say that. This morning I was looking at a friend of mine's vacation photos, and they were riding horses in the ocean in Turks and Caicos. And I felt like this wave of not envy, but I'm like, oh, I really need to go and do that. So yes, and 100% I bite my lip all the time when I have things come into my mind. because I don't want to hurt people's feelings, and I know sometimes I need to step back and do that. So,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh,
That's
so thank
me.
you. Thank you for confirming that. And this is just because this is now is that next chapter coming for you. So I hope that helps.
Yes, very much. Thank you so much.
Take care.
And I'm
Thanks,
going to go see
Ann.
if I can volunteer with a local stable. Why not?
That's amazing.
You got it.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Natasha, who's up next?
So next up, we're going to be bringing up, Paula. So I'm just going to get her up here.
Okay. It's so funny. So that day, I'm in Jessica's kitchen talking about disorganization. You come in and Red Eagle says organization, and
you're in the
is
kitchen and the
looking at
plates.
horses in the morning and having an envious-ish kind of moment, and then
Right.
boom,
Here
she's
we
being
are.
told she needs to talk
She
to
needs to
horses.
go to and go and spend time with them.
But how much
Absolutely.
of that is energy as well connecting?
It's all energy connecting. I'm super sensitive to energies flying through the air. Okay, and some of these energies are things that are going to happen because I'm a little bit ahead, I might say. I can hear it ahead. A good music producer or a good conductor can hear where the music is about to go, where that musician is about to, I know what they're going to do next. I know the key they're going to go to. I know the little movement that's about to happen. It's kind of like that. I start off as a musician.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well,
So
we got
cool.
somebody else here.
All right, who do we have, Natasha?
We have Paula here.
Hi, Paula.
Hi. Happy
Paula.
birthday, Maria.
Thank you.
So grateful and happy to be here, and I love your show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for being part of the Heal Squad. All right, Riz.
Hi there, Paula.
Hi.
So
Great brows, by the way. Holy moly. I have
Thank
to just
you.
say that.
Well, the first thing I just want to jump out and say to you is just like get ready for a lot of frequent flyer miles because you need to like go live in another country for about 2 months. And I want to know if you've ever thought about spending any time in Italy, because that is a destination. And I don't mean just for a vacation, like literally, if you could get there for a month or two, it would calm things down in terms of the fluttering of the heart, because that's the first thing that I see is recovering from fluttering of the heart. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't mean a heart condition. I mean love. So healing from that and time away would really help you, because you are actually, there must be a part of you that goes, I don't know if I was born in the right era because people aren't acting right. Like they should be more polite. Why can't they just be more polite? And so you've had to have a very strong face in the world because you've been protecting this very sensitive, sweet, precious being that's underneath there. She's like the 7, I have to say 7 years old is where I see something happening here, 7 to 8, where you began to kind of protect yourself and say, am I ever going to have that magical reality that I want? So
Right.
you do need time in older places. Places that have a history that you go, oh, this house that I'm staying in is from 400 years ago. Isn't it amazing? So almost like you're surrendering to the part of you that's very domestic. So I want to say that, and very traditional. So that's where you might get a little bit hurt. You understand?
Right.
But you will call that in, and it will become very fulfilling in your love life. That's what I want to say.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know. I mean, I would love to travel, so that would be amazing.
Did you have a topic or question you wanted me to talk about?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
I'm an actress, and I've been working at this for a very long time, since I was a little girl. Um, I made the move from LA to New York, and it was a big move. And I'm really happy here, but I've been sort of looking for guidance on how to get to that next level, find the right people to work with. That's my
Okay.
goal right now, just finding the right people to help me get to where I want to go.
Number one is when I've always tuned into those who are in the world of entertainment, especially actors, because boy, you guys, most of your life is rejection. So my hat's off to you guys. Most of your life.
Yeah.
There's no other profession in the world, I think, that I can think of at the moment where you get so much, where 99% of your life is rejection. It's almost always no. So what I want to say to you here is that you can never go away out of this industry. You can't go away. You can create other interests, you can create other forms of income if you need to, but you never stop acting. That is very important because sometimes it's just that you need to look 8 years older, and that's where you're seasoned.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It just like, oh, yeah, you got talent. You have a look, but then it's like, no, the show that's waiting for you is 8 years from now when you're playing that particular character or role that just forever. Remember Harry Potter? And there's my Harry Potter tattoo. If you want to see it, there's right there. Alan Rickman, this prolific actor, but the entire world knows him for this role he did when he was older as Snape. And even Miss McGonagall was like, what, in her 70s when she did Harry Potter. And I'm not saying you have to wait that long. But what I'm saying is that with you, I feel like, and when I talked about your heart, and I said it's just been fluttering, it's like it's going to be time for you to make peace with the emotional aspect of who you are, because that vibration is going to deepen and bring out your soulfulness in your auditions. You cannot do it the way these other actors are doing it. Don't do it their style. Go in there for you, and this is just for you is what I'm saying, is that you have to go to another level of your own authenticity. Not every actor needs to do that. Some can be totally on the surface and be terrible, actually, and they'll make it. But that's not what's going to work for you. What's going to work for you is your soulfulness coming out. You need to do some healing work. This is not going to happen by just a better acting coach. No. This is going to be when, as you're doing your healing work and you crack open and you're so afraid of doing that, and it's okay because you're like, I know you're like, Riz, a whole flood is going to happen. Okay. A flood of tears, a flood of fire all at once. But that's what we need. We need that to come out, Paula, right?
Yes.
Paula, we need that to come out in your personal life there. And I don't mean with a partner. I just mean as a human. And then what's going to happen is that's going to feed your ability and how you, even from the smallest things of like your expression when you're giving an audition, how you approach a character. Because I want to say this, you haven't yet made peace with your hell. And if you want to be a powerful, successful actor, because I think that's what you want. I don't think you just want the superficial roles. I think that
no, I don't.
Right. So you have to make peace with your own hell, and then we see it in your face, and that's going to shine through. You have very expressive eyes, so that's going to work for you. So that's your thing, and you're going to see it through there. Okay, you're going to see that soul coming through there. That's why I said Italy. Just go and like let go for a while.
Okay.
Let go for a while. Don't worry, Hollywood's not going anywhere. It's going to be just as good and just as horrible when you come back. Okay, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's like letting go of that tightness, right? Because when you want something so bad, you get so tight.
You also should learn.
Italy will free.
Yes. You also should learn a specific kind of yoga. Look it up. It's called Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini, Kundalini Yoga. There's a lot of breath work that helps you to process that emotion and get it out and really get into your fire. So don't stop. Don't stop. It'll happen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Paula.
Thanks, Paula. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
Have fun
You
in
too.
Italy, my favorite place.
Thank you.
Make it happen.
See, it's also about not just the predictions, but it's about understanding where the person's energy is at. Because a psychic, you just get, don't worry, you're going to get a role in 2 years. Oh, I am great. All right. Goodbye. Well, none of us have any way of knowing if that's ever going to happen. I'm looking at where is a person stuck? And then we go there.
Yeah.
Okay, we got somebody
I feel
else
like
now?
that fluttering of the heart was with her career.
Oh, yeah? Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's what I feel
let's
like
go.
it was,
One
yeah.
more. We got another person here.
Hello.
Hi.
We have Renee with us.
Hi, Renee.
I can't hear her.
We can't hear Renee.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Hi, Renee.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, I have to tell you, look, let's just straight up talk about where you have felt spirits and where you have felt your intuition and your own sensitivity since you were very young. Can we just talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, look, they have been trying to talk to you, and they have been they come in and out kind of, I feel like talking to you, and they're like, oh, she wants to hear us today. She felt us there. Look at her expression on her face now. Okay. Is she going to do anything about it? Have you tried working with the cards yet?
Yes, actually, I did get a deck and I've been reading up on it.
Good.
I've
Good.
been
You're going to be good
trying.
at it. You're going to be good at it.
Wow.
Yeah. So keep going with it and allow yourself to, hey, do you have a cat? You got to have a cat.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I just did. They're like, talk about the cats. Okay. There's another one coming that I feel like you're going to find or is going to come to you. And that's your little magical good luck cat. Keep that cat around you when you're doing your development of your cards. And that's super important. And I also feel that this has been a time of the last year or two where you have been really stepping into understanding what it means to listen how deep this one is, Maria. How deep it is to be in her body. That means like the part of you that always felt like, I don't know if I'm here. I don't know if I'm actually fully in my body. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, it's
Okay.
that's
So
kind of wow.
so that's what's going to start to happen this year is you're actually landing now. You're landing into your body. You know how when you have a dream and then you fall back into the bed, that's proof that your soul leaves your body and rises up and comes back. You're traveling in other dimensions, but you've been doing this while you were awake. So now is the time to bring that in. So, I like your background, by the way, that you have with the flowers and grass, because really you are that earthy kind of fairy. So I would say definitely if you can plant and get your hands in the soil, very good for you because you have the fairy energy. And if you can
Oh,
get to Ireland and do a trip, you need to be there too.
thank you.
I don't know. I was talking
It's
straight up. You want
amazing.
to say anything now?
I know.
No,
It
it's just
seems like it
amazing.
resonated.
It really did. I'm kind of speechless because it really has been a year of coming into my body, coming into feeling and accepting, because sometimes you just doubt yourself. Is it really that instinct? And I think, Maria, you've talked about it, where at first you were kind of like hesitant about it, but then you started accepting it. And I think that I have been. And it's true, I've been trying to ground in and work in the yard more often and get more into my body, like you said. So
And the
that's
cards and do the
amazing.
cards and get a few more decks
Okay.
and let yourself really feel it and learn it. Okay. And
Yes.
trust the messages that come through and practice, practice, practice. And you're going to be a good reader.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Aw,
Be well.
nice to
thank
see you,
you.
Renee.
Nice to see you.
It's so cool. It's so cool when you just see somebody just really being like, yes, yes, that's
It is
me.
all about that. It never gets old for me. It's, when my first reading, I was 7 years old. And I didn't know I was doing a reading. I was sitting with my mom in Queens, New York. I'm from New York City. I was born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx. My family came from India. And my first language was Hindi. And then I learned English, Bronx English, of course, Harlem, 125th Street and Broadway English. And my mom took me to one of her girlfriend's houses, and it was really boring. There was no kids to play with, and I was just sitting like this, waiting for them to finish their chai, and go home. And out of nowhere, I just blurted out. I was looking at a couch, and I said, "An old man died on that couch. He was drinking tea too." And they stopped talking. Like I heard the spoon drop. When you're a kid, it's the spoon dropping, not the mic dropping. So I heard the spoon drop, and I thought I said something wrong. Like I shouldn't have said that. And the woman comes over and she goes, "How do you know that?" Because her father did die on that couch like the year before, drinking tea, by the way.
Wow.
And my mom didn't know it either. And I didn't know. She just said, "How do you know?" I said, "I don't know." She goes, "Do you see him?" I said, "No." She goes, "Do you hear him?" I said, "No." She goes, "Then how do you know?" And I just said, I said, "I just feel him." When you're 7, you don't know what to say,
Yeah.
right? I said the truth. And then she said, does he, anything else? And there wasn't anything else, except I felt like he was happy. And I said, "He's happy." And I didn't have any support really in that messaging that I was starting to do because my parents weren't intuitives that I know of, and there was no one in my family that was psychic. And it wasn't until I was like 27 years old. By the way, a lot of change happens when you're 27. You heard about the 27 Club?
No
A lot
way.
of celebrities have died at 27.
Oh,
Kurt
yeah.
Cobain, Amy Winehouse,
Yeah,
Jimi
yeah,
Hendrix,
yeah.
Janis Joplin, the list goes on. And I was speaking to an astrologer recently, and they said that is around this. There's a time of your life that's called a Saturn return. It's usually around that time of your life where you have a big change. Now, how deep do you want to go? You want to go really deep today?
Yeah,
Okay, so
sure.
all right. So then there's something called, that's astrology. Then we have something called numerology, which is the magic of numbers. And have you been seeing any numbers pop up like 333, 444?
I
Okay.
see my home phone number. Ow, that hurt really bad. Ow, sorry guys.
Okay.
I have stitches.
Okay.
And I did something stupid. For the last like 2 years, even before my mom passed, kept seeing 928. And my home phone number growing up was 9285. And I kept thinking it was some message about home, and I didn't know what
I'm
it
gonna
meant.
I'm gonna solve it for you right now.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go back to the 27 Club. 27 Club, as a shaman and as someone who understands the magic of numbers, look, this whole studio and everything, all this technology you're watching us on now is because of numbers. The numbers have to be right, and everything works. And there's a magic underneath it. Okay. So 27 in numerology means the number 9. We add the numbers always together to equal a single digit. 9 represents completion and coming full circle. 9 months in the womb, normally healthy baby, 9 months in the womb. In this solar system, 9 planets, 360 degrees in a circle, coming full circle. 360 equals?
9,
All right. Guess what 928 equals?
19, 10,
So let's do the numbers, right? So 9 plus 2 is
11.
11. Then 11 plus 8
Oh,
is what?
19.
Right, so we got another 9
And
there.
9 and 1 is
and then
10.
9 1 is 10. So you're
Yeah.
coming completely into the new cycle of something. So that would represent that you are coming into the new cycle is always coming for you. And look about your life, right? From what I've learned a lot about you in the last couple of days in terms of like your story. And well, I wouldn't say a lot about you. My daughters told me. So my stepdaughters know, and they're fans. And they said, oh, she went through these big health struggles. And interestingly enough, you know that throughout the stages of pregnancy, you've had children,
No.
right? No, you haven't. You don't have any children?
No, I'm about to. We're pregnant with a surrogate.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I
interesting.
have a lot of like people children and a lot of
No.
canine
So
children,
then maybe
but-
that's the message about being a mom. Okay,
Yeah.
great. But going through the cycles of all your healing, right? You know there were time periods where it was a chapter that you had to get through, and if you were distracted by the pain from it, then it was going to be counterproductive. You had to almost like ride out the pain or ride out the procedures and ride out all the testing and ride out all of those things, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have a certain amount of distance from being like really wrapped up. I like to say many times we get drunk with the problem
Yeah.
because when there's a lot of pain in there, we get a lot out of even feeling bad. And I mean that in a good way. We get something out of it. There's a connection with ourselves. There's an intimacy with ourselves when we are letting ourselves even feel bad even for ourselves. People go, don't have self-pity. Self-pity is okay for a little while because some good things can happen in that. You start to reconnect with yourself. You're just licking your wounds. You're just doing this. This isn't self-pity. If your knee hurt and you're going like this to your knee, that's not self-pity. You can cry about it. But see, that's the problem, is that we are not allowed to cry, especially men.
Yeah.
We're told, at least the generation that I came from, and then the generation before me, was you don't cry. Telling someone not to cry from a young age is basically like covering all their sweat pores or glands with cement. What do you think will happen to you if you do that? You'll grow toxic and die. And so here we are as men. I do a lot of men's work, men's retreats, and we go out into the forest and we're there for 2 or 3 days, and we dive into. We're not like chopping down trees. It's not that kind of men's retreat. You can do that on your own. This is dropping in, and it's having a safe space to go, look, this hurts, that hurts. I don't know what to do about this. And it's because we never really had a place to be able to let it out. but it's happening more and more. I mean, like, guys are saying "I love you" to each other now. When I was growing up, it was like, "How are you, Jim? How are you, Bob?" Like
Yeah.
I saw grown up guys shaking hands firmly and then just standing there like this. Then it went from that to like, "How's it going?" Then it went to high fives, and then it went to grab the hand and then bump the shoulder, and then it went to full out hugs. Now you see guys hugging for like 10 seconds when they see each other. So guys are really starting to say, my emotions are powerful. I'm going to show more love. And I'm so happy to see that, because when I was growing up, I was a shy, psychic kid. And I felt like we needed to do that more. So anyway, you want to see more people?
Yeah.
There's
Wait, you
somebody
didn't
right
finish.
there.
You didn't tell me what the you said you were going
The
somewhere
number?
with it. Yes.
Okay, so the number 1,
So it was a 10. You mean it's new, a new chapter?
remember, it's not a 10 because 1 plus 0 equals 1. You have to go back to 1 digit. You're adding up all the numbers,
But it was a 1 plus 9.
equals 10.
10. Oh, so
and
then
then
a
now
1.
add it again.
Oh,
Add the 10.
you
have to-
add every time.
Every time till you get to one number.
Oh, okay.
So you're coming back to oneness. You're coming back to your center now.
Ah.
That means that your whole life was about this. Your whole life has been about oneness. That's what this is.
Yeah.
That's what you're providing this opportunity for all of us to do. So here we are. There's somebody
All
right there.
Let's go.
Hi. Can you hear us?
We have Angie with us.
Hi, Angie. Angie's a Heal Squad OG.
Hi.
Oh, really?
Hi, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Hi,
Yeah, and
Angie.
congratulations on baby. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited for you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Angie. You want me to just...
Hi.
Hi. You want me to just tell you some things?
Sure.
Well, is that a headboard behind you? Because I have to talk to you
Yeah.
about sleep and rest, number 1. Okay? 'Cause
Okay.
that's what's pressing right now. This, I have to go back even for like 7 years ago is the number that I'm getting. So what would be the math of 7 years ago? 3 years ago was 2020. Then add another 4 between 2016.
7 years ago,
Yeah.
2016. Yeah.
2016 is where I see the big year of
So that's a 9 too.
sent you off the planet. So I don't know what the hell happened in 2016. I don't know it yet, but all I know is that that's where I see the energy created you.
My
not
dad
doing this.
died.
Thank you. And I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But what's his name? First name, please.
George.
Okay, let's see if George comes through with a message, I'll give it to you. But the first thing that I have to say is that you just haven't slept peacefully. And don't worry, you're going to get a handle on that this year. And the universe knows it. And the reason why, at least it was, look, if you keep going this way, the body's going to start to break down too. Okay? The hormones are going to be thrown off. Your thyroid's going to be thrown off. These are things that I feel need to happen. And these days of the days that you just want to lay in that bed and never leave, those are going to be a thing of the past. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Okay? Absolutely. I want to say something funny. Your dad is showing me like a 3-layer birthday cake right now. So that means that somebody's birthday is coming up and it's not yours, Maria. Somebody else's anniversary, but it's like a 3-layer cake. And I just want to say he's showing me that he's like having a really good time having like pastries and sweets on the other side. Yes, you can eat. Yes, you can. He wants you to know, yes, you can eat on the other side. I hope that makes sense to you, but he's just like, you don't skimp on the icing and you don't skimp on the sugar. If you're going to eat a cake, eat a cake. Sorry to all the vegan bakeries out there. I love you too. Don't worry. I love you. Okay. So, other thing I want to say is, you said your name is Angie?
Yeah, but
because he's not calling you that.
no, he's probably calling me TJ.
Okay, thank you. Because I was like, another thing for Angie, and he goes, no. Okay, thank you, TJ. Got you. All right. Do you know who? I want to say the name Susan or Sue or Suzanne. Do you know if this rings a bell for you right now? It may not be connected to him.
Suzanne
Or Susan.
or Susan. No.
Okay. Your dad is also mentioned, let's just skip over it then, because I don't want to waste time.
Okay.
Your dad is mentioning something about, I don't know why, but where you park your car, or that something happened in a car park.
He was, well, he was killed in a car accident.
Thank you.
So,
Okay. And
yeah.
so what? So the okay, got it. Because there's cars. He's showing me cars. Got it. Something happened in the car. He
Yeah.
should have been parked. Okay, got it. Now I understand. Look,
We don't know what caused it.
I think he fell asleep.
Okay.
I think he fell asleep. He said I
Okay.
should have been parked. And that means that you should have been. If you're parked, you should have
Uh.
been parked. You should. That means you would have been parked to sleep. Okay,
Oh.
that's how that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Sorry
Do you-
about that. I have a
No.
question for you. Do you have any connection to like North Carolina or Georgia or this area? What's going on over there? What is that connection?
My father-in-law and sister-in-law live there. We're actually going to be going there.
Okay, your dad is telling me
Headed down there.
Dad is mentioning that to me, so he'll be on that little trip with you. Okay, talk to him.
Okay. And then
And by the way, he's
does
also
he-
saying again, going back to the sweets. He's like, "There's nothing wrong with chocolate." Okay, so
okay.
you can have
And
it.
then okay. And then does he know where his ring is? My mom has
Oh.
been looking for his ring.
That's an unusual. That's not an easy question sometimes to ask them because I'll ask about it. I don't, but see, I don't feel it doesn't look like a wedding ring to me.
It's kind of really plain.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. All
And-
right. Got it.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever look in his glove compartment?
I'm actually going, okay. So I feel
It's the first
that
thing
this,
kept popping into my head.
what is the house that has the garage with all the stuff in it?
Garage with all this stuff.
Yeah.
in
Is
it.
that house gone or still there? There's boxes in the garage that I see. And I know a lot of us do keep boxes in the garage, but he's showing me, I'm just going to describe it to you.
Okay.
There's a room next to this garage and that's where things are stored also. It's like
Okay.
something in there. That's where I see it. I also
I saw
see,
like a tissue box,
I-
like something long.
oh, you're seeing something?
I did. I saw like a long thing, and I thought maybe it was the glove compartment, but it was almost like a long rectangular box that I just kept seeing.
Madam Maria is going to give you the message. So
I
let's
just
let
say,
her
what
have it.
if I feel something?
Yes,
if
I
it comes
feel. I
in,
trust
then
you. Believe me. I love that this is happening. I want to say one last thing. I'm not getting such a clear answer on that. Now we'll always tell you if I don't. But I am
Yeah.
going to say this is about your dad. This is a man that has been. I like to use the word reborn. It's like he's in this. I don't see an older man right now. I literally see like I'm looking at a 19-year-old. He is like has the bounce of that kind of person. And
Yeah.
he's just like when you're on that plane and you're flying over there, like where I said, you can just talk to him and you will hear him. And I just as a human being and as a psychic, and I would just tell you, the ring's not important. We know that.
Yeah.
It's not important.
No,
to me.
it's not like monetarily
Yeah.
important, but my mom's been searching for that ring, and I know it's driving. It feels like a connection to him.
But then let her keep looking
And-
for it.
Yeah.
Let her keep
No, that's a
looking
good
for it. If
point.
it's keeping her active and keeping her aware and keeping her connected to him,
Mhm.
so what?
That's a
It's not
good
about
point.
the ring. It's about it's always the journey to it, right?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah.
Much
Yeah,
love
and-
to you.
I really appreciate you and the Heal Squad, Maria and Kevin and Kelsey and everybody. You guys have saved my life and got me in touch with Dr. Allison too.
Oh,
thank you.
yay. I'm so glad. She's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you. Yeah,
Well, we love you, and thank you for being part of our little squad.
thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. So cool.
Wow. Hmm.
That
we-
must be like so crazy to like, you don't know how someone passed, and then to hear how potentially it could have.
Yeah. And I think that I always come back to this. Like, yes, you're right. But you have to think more about people say, what happens after we die? They always ask me this. And I always come back with this one. I said, well, what happens when you start really living? Don't worry about what happens after you die. Why are you worried about that? I can tell you that. What do you think happens? And and flow with that. If it feels good, keep it going, because no one is the authority on all of the mysteries of the universe. But just some of us are tour guides that have gone deeper into the far and go, let me tell you what I've seen.
Yeah. But
Try it on
when
for
you
size.
connect with spirit, haven't you ever asked, what is it like on the other
Oh,
side?
yeah. And the things that I get are so different than what people think it is.
So no one's ever told you like there's a heaven and then, you know, there's, because everybody when they pass, but they come back, they say it was beautiful and it was heavenly and it was light and it was gorgeous. And
When you first, here's what I've seen. When you first cross over, there's always either a spirit guide who comes and you may not even recognize them, but you energetically recognize them. You feel like, I think I know this person. They're emanating this love and radiance, and they take you, and it's beautiful, and you feel that amazing release from the body and love. But then guess what? You are in a classroom again, and it's beautiful, and not everybody's wearing white robes and pillars and temple. For some people, their heaven is they're at a ball game, and their spirit guide is sitting next to them watching the ball game, talking to them and helping them process their life. And another person, they get to be a rock star, and another person is 17 years old like her dad was. And then another person is, no, I need the whole like Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, all the different people that I worship to be with me and sitting and talking, and then I'll know I'm in heaven. It has much to do with what your soul's desire is. And how beautiful is that? To me, that is the technical definition of heaven. What is your soul's desire?
whoa, I love that. That's amazing. Wow. I want to be surrounded with animals.
We have
and God.
so much. You got it. We have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
How are we done now or what? What's
I
going
think
on?
we have one last person.
we're gonna have one more
probably.
person?
Yes, we
Okay.
have one last person.
Hello.
Hi.
Let's see. We can't hear anything yet.
I don't think she can hear us either.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, maybe next time.
I don't want to give up on her. Okay, well,
All right.
I think I'm trying to communicate with the booth. Oh, I think we can hear you now.
Did he call on Leslie?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, this is Leslie. I'm not sure if he called my name. I did not hear.
Yes,
You
we're
know-
ready for you.
Hi, Leslie. I'm Riz.
Hi, happy
Where are
birthday.
you?
Thank you.
Hi,
What
thank
part-
you for having us.
For sure. Where are you?
I'm in California, in Anaheim, California.
All right. So, shall we dive in, Leslie, or did you want to start with a question?
Go for it.
Okay. Actually, I really want to talk about children and kids, and I want to talk about. Do you know someone who lost a child?
Not that I know.
Okay, if you don't, I'm going to tell you in that place that you're living in right now, because I can kind of see the background. There's a spirit of a young man, and I mean like literally young, and he's made himself known to you. Do you know this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Things happen in this place. Things get moved, and we know.
He's just having
know.
fun. You know, he doesn't mean anything. He's not trying to scare you.
Yeah.
But
We
he's-
know, and sometimes we say just stop.
Got
Like when there's things going around, we say
Yeah.
just stop.
it. Okay, good. And he does, right?
Yes, and we know that it's not a bad energy or nothing. It's just a playful one.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Glad to hear it. I also have a funny question for you. Do you want to get a new TV, or is this like your TV? Like he's like, the kid is saying to me, like, why don't they have a bigger TV? I don't know what that means. Can you explain that to me?
My partner has always wanted to have this whole set of multiple TVs in order to watch all the games. He always has the computer, like multiple computers, the big TV, the little TV, the phone, when he wants to watch everything. So he always says, I want more TVs.
Well, I'm just going to call him Harry Potter because I think I like that. You remember the first Harry Potter when he was very little?
Yep.
Is that 2 Harry Potter references in one podcast?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it's great.
we got maybe one
I think
more.
we should get a third one.
We'll
'cause
get a
it's gotta
third one.
be in
Okay.
threes.
Well, there's Hermione right there. Okay. So he's kind of like, picture a little Harry Potter. and he's the one
Okay.
that's in your house, and he keeps saying they want to. What about the bigger TV? And so that's a little yes, you should do it, and just let your partner do it because it's going to actually be fun and even fun for you.
Okay.
What else do you want to ask? You want to ask me one? We got time for one more question in that?
Yeah.
You have a topic
So,
you want me to look into?
yeah, so right now I'm at a critical path in my life, going multiple directions. Maria knows I had a brain tumor, so I already recovered from that, and I'm moving forward, like work, moving to, probably looking into moving to a new place. So everything. My mom's going through her close to end life journey as well. So I'm like trying to put everything together. So if there's just something related to that whole journey that is coming next, that will be good. Either any path, doesn't matter which one it belongs to.
Well, obviously, your whole diary of your journey, and you coming out and knowing that you also have a voice and that it's valid because you are getting a chance to authentically express the journey that you've been on, and you will share that, and that gives people, you can say gives them hope. I mean, that's a very common word to use. I want to use a word that's even better, which is this connection with themselves that brings them more peace. So other people who've gone through or are going through what you've gone through. And I'm not saying go be some big inspirational speaker. No, I'm just saying, you expressing your thoughts, whether it's writing it or even sitting there on camera, just like that, nothing fancy, just like that. Hey guys, here's my story. Do you know anyone who's also experienced this? And I want to talk about it because a lot of the conversations that you have been having have been about problems and then fixing the problem. And what I want you to start doing is having the conversation start happening about how things are moving forward. And each day you're getting a chance to laugh again, and you're getting a chance to say, you know what, I'm starting to connect dots about my life and why did I call in these experiences and turn it into like, you know what, I think I might have called in these experiences to live a more powerful life because I love life. And I love talking to people and connecting, and I'm here for that. So you know what? If it has to be through this and the way that I've suffered, so be it. I'm going to move. I'm going to flow with this. Your life is about this flow. Okay. Also want to tell you do you know what needlepoint is? Remember, it's like it's not really done anymore. Does somebody was somebody really into needlepoint in your family or something?
My mom used to be really into needlepoint as I was growing up. Yes. And both my grandma and my mom, you will teach me, and it had to be perfect. Yes. Always perfect. Because in the back of it had to have a pattern, and they would always make it redo it if it was not perfect. But They were really into it.
Right. I understand. And I would say this to you is that the needlepoint was really your. Am I okay here with this earpiece?
Yeah. We'll
okay. The needlepoint had a lot to do with your focus and precision. And anything that, and I'm not saying doing needlepoint again, I'm just saying little tasks that you go, that helps me rework my left and right sides of my brain. You want to fire up those, I like to say the neurons in the brain. And can I give you a little exercise to do? Learning to write with the opposite hand that you're used to.
Yeah.
Writing with. And as well, doing this movement that is called Tai Chi. Do you know it?
Yes.
Have you heard of it? Your body needs to start positive movement and energy happening that isn't about I'm fixing a problem. Because now is the time to reconnect with your true spirit energy of yourself. And these little things, they don't even cost a lot of money because you can learn everything on YouTube nowadays. And you drop in and do it there, while your partner's watching the big screen and all those 16 screens, or replace the 16 screens with one, like your little spirit is telling you to do. You could be over there on the other side of the room doing your Tai Chi. So, or you could be learning on the big screen. See what I'm saying? I don't want you shielding yourself anymore because the wars are over. I want you dropping the shields and going, now it's time to create and allow it to come through me.
Got it.
All right.
Thank
could
you
keep
very
going
much.
with her, but I'm going to stop now because of time.
Leslie, nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much, Riz.
You're
Appreciate
Of
it.
course. Have a
Many
great
blessings
day.
to you. Be well.
Okay, that blew my mind. I'm like, oh, okay. This is a big leap. You've got a spirit in there. Do you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
What? Kev, you don't have a microphone, but I know you were like, holy moly. I have to ask because in the chat, Anne was just asking about her 2-year-old grandson. Can you tune in to her 2-year-old
Anne
grandson?
was the first person?
Yes, we can put her back up.
Okay. It's okay. A 2-year-old grandson? What is the question?
Can you
I just need the first name.
I'll let her ask because I'm not sure.
Hi, Riz. Sorry. I was just wondering if you had any insight. Last October 7th, my 2-year-old grandson, Andrew, passed away.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to SIDS, but it happened to kids who are older than 2, and he had turned 2 in August.
Yeah.
And they did all the tests and autopsies, and there were no reasons why, and he was healthy otherwise, and they just put him down to bed and then went to check on him in the night, and he had passed away.
What I'm going to tell you is not easy to swallow. You have to kind of go into the biggest perspective of your soul.
Okay.
There are certain souls. You can call them angelic souls. You can call them teachers, but you have to really sober up, drop in with yourself spiritually and go, this person, this soul came through for a reason. And many times when we experience this type of soul coming through who leaves quickly, it's because they came to open up and expand and have everyone in the family drop into their heart even more and to connect to something greater. You can call that whatever word you want to use. It's not a punishment. It's for you. It's a sacred contract between you and that other soul. You see, because where else are you going to? Where is your spiritual logic as us as human beings? We have to have a spiritual logic.
Right.
Because we keep coming to, well, it was the doctor's fault, or it was this disease, or now let's fight this disease, or now let's sue this doctor, or it was the parents' fault because they did something wrong. Okay, now let's feel bad as parents. None of this is going to get you anywhere because that's just some version of blame and some version of victimhood. And the next step of psychic awareness, right? Because I'm here talking about this. Psychic awareness isn't just about prediction. Psychic awareness is that you are energy. You are a spirit. You don't have a spirit. You are a spirit. Everything is energy. Everything has a meaning, and everything at its base is love. You start off as love, and in between, you're struggling with that idea of how do I experience more love, give more love, get more love, and all of that. And so when these very painful experiences happen, you notice I didn't use the word tragic.
Yeah.
Please make a note of that. I didn't say tragic. I'm done with those words. Because I lost my mom, my dad, my best friend. The list goes on. All too early. And I don't say it was a tragedy. I say it was powerful. It was deeply meaningful and impactful for me. But I don't say they were tragic experiences. If I describe them to you, you say, but Riz, that is tragic. I know to you it's tragic, but I don't get anything out of saying that. It doesn't empower my life to constantly say I had tragic things happen to me. I say that impactful, powerful things that opened me up to something bigger. And you have to close this with that. Otherwise, you are going to be constantly in the cycle of the tragedy.
Yep.
So please do that. He is showing me a rose, like right here on my hand, that the rose that I have. He is coming through and showing me rose. I don't know does the grave have a rose on it, or
not on the stone, but there are flowers all around it.
Of course there would be, but it's specifically a rose, and it's a symbol of something, but it's not necessarily what's on the grave. I thought either it's on the tombstone or it's maybe they have like a, you know how.
We had yellow roses that we put on top of his casket before he was buried.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Okay. And there's also another thing. He's showing me a second thing. He's showing me like someone has, I don't know, maybe the parents have something like a little statuette or like some kind of decor of a rose in the house also. Like sometimes, we have like blown glass or a little statue of something.
Okay.
Obviously,
I'm not,
you can't check it now, but
no, but I'll look for it next time I'm there for sure. And I'll just know that that's one of the things Andrew loves.
do you know who the person, is like Tyler or Todd connected to that family?
Not that comes to mind right off the top of my head,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean no.
No, of course I know, but I just like, you see, I'm going to start on a roll right now, and I can go on for an hour
Right.
with different things. We'll have to piece it
No,
together.
thanks.
But other than that, keep that going, and
I will.
And we have to close that circle so that we don't stay in the tragedy wording of it anymore.
Sounds good.
It was a God
Thank you
experience, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thanks for answering my question.
Wow. What a great way to look at something. I mean, you know, I always say, even like with our health journeys, that they were gifts, because I learned so much. It shifted me because I wasn't going to shift. There were so many gifts that came from it. Death is a really hard one to
The hardest.
change your framing and
Yeah.
your perspective around,
Because we go, that's the ultimate wrong. It shouldn't happen.
especially a baby.
Yeah, and that's where it's going to hurt us the most. But
Yeah.
this is one big teaching. The earth is a school.
Yeah.
It's a school, guys. Earth is a school. Write it on your phone, or put it on a post-it on the fridge if you still use post-its, but put Earth is a school everywhere that you can see it, and it's not a bad school to be in. It's going to have super things that are unpleasant and things that are beautiful. And the moment you start to surrender to that, then you can navigate and understand why everything is happening. Why is that person acting like a jerk at the red light? Why is that person doing that? It's a school. It's a school. It's a school. That everybody's here learning things, figuring it out.
And at different rates and
Right.
paces.
Yeah.
My mom always said, Maria, life is for the living. And what you're basically saying is that none of this is going to serve us if we're going into these holes. I'm all for grieving. You have to grieve properly,
Right.
but there's an end to the grieving, or should be an end to the grieving, and then life should start living again, right?
We have to.
So, and I really like the whole psychic awareness. I think that's really powerful.
We're doing it, man. People are more interested in unconventional therapies than ever. We have so much more to talk about, but
We really
maybe next
do.
time we will.
We are going to have a part 2
All right.
because we're crazy on our schedule. But I will ask, actually, do you see anything from Mr. Kevin? Because
Kevin, did you have somebody who's cross who was really into boating?
he never asked for anything, so boating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The like had a boat or always wanted to have the boat.
I don't know. I'd have to think.
I know someone who's all about boats,
And
is
who-
your brother-in-law.
Oh, yeah. Someone living is very.
That's what I'm.
Yes, and he's in a lot of pain, and that would really help him.
Yes, thank you. So what's going on
So
with the
much pain.
physical pain,
Emotional.
emotional pain?
Yes.
So can he be on the boats?
Yes, he could. He just has to. I'm helping him connect the dots to get there.
Okay, well that's the
So
that's the
we're
first
from-
message.
It's a response. You know, it's work, construction, do those things.
Oh.
Never.
Natasha,
think
can you
of
give him a
boat.
mic?
You would never think, you know, in the conventional
okay.
world, and getting him to say, well, can you be a fisherman? Can you
Yeah.
charter the boat for tourists? But you got to get out to water. You have to. This is your joy. You have.
Well,
to
now you're hearing it from me, and now he's gonna watch this.
Wow.
What's his name?
Peter.
Peter.
Peter. You're supposed to be the gatekeeper to heaven, right? Isn't that what Peter is? So your gate to your heaven on earth is through the water. And so give yourself permission, because the universe has already given you permission, Peter. So how about you give yourself permission and let us all be happy by seeing you do that. And that's the first thing that's coming through, is to give that person a message. Okay.
Yes.
Because that's what priority list is, where the spirit guides go.
Wow.
And that has been top of my mind for the last like 2 or 3 weeks, because I know that this is someone who's been suffering for many years, and I know this would and he just doesn't think he needs to know it's possible.
Let's go grab him by the scruff of the neck and drag him over there. I'll go with you.
That's kind of where it's going.
All right. So what? There's a time for that too, you know.
I love it.
That's the Bronx in me talking, but all right.
That's the Boston and me.
All right. All right. There we go. Yankees versus
So
Reds.
funny. Riz, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This has been great. And yeah, we definitely have so much more to get into, because there's so many amazing nuggets in this episode that
Yes.
are just drop the mic moments that I think we can take into our lives and really start examining things differently and looking at things through different lens
Yeah.
that's more helpful and useful.
Thank you. I agree with you totally. I'm happy to come back anytime. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
How do we find him?
Oh, yes, friends, you can find Riz. First of all, I just tagged him in my stories, but your Instagram is
Psychic Riz the Wiz. Put an underscore under all of them. Psychic Riz the Wiz.
yes.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can go into my Instagram stories and you'll be able to click into
sure.
his Instagram from there.
And Heal Squad 2 has tagged him, so you can find him through Heal Squad.
You can find him on Heal Squad. He's tagged there. Anything else that we should mention?
We could mention I'm doing a lot of really amazing retreats that are coming up. You know, I take people all around the world: Egypt, India, Japan, Ireland, Sedona, Mount Shasta, Salem, Massachusetts. I'm doing a Halloween experience. with
Ooh,
paranormal.
fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's in October. It's really amazing.
We're from Massachusetts.
Oh, you really?
Both of us, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I have
Okay.
a question about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about the witches that were persecuted back then?
How do I feel about them?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
what comes through?
I'm going to be channeling there
That's what I
while I'm
figured.
there, so I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't dropped in yet, and that's one of the
Okay.
reasons I'm doing the retreat. But we're gonna do some lives from there, so you guys got to watch and
Oh,
see.
what a cool thing to do on Halloween.
No,
Yeah.
Maybe bring you back, or we'll bring you back before then, I'm sure. But
Halloween
I'd love to do
episode.
Halloween. Yeah, because I'm fascinated with your.
It's a very powerful one.
one.
I got to tell you one thing about Salem. I have been to Salem, but I'll tell you one thing about it. It was energetically powerful before any of that stuff ever happened. That ground is sacred ground even before the colonial people got there. There's something about that whole area. Notice how much has happened in Massachusetts. I mean, so much change, so much that has to do with even how this country was formed.
Always.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even the natives there have stories about it before colonialism. So it's a vortex there of energy. So I'm going to drop in and talk about that.
That's so cool. Okay, do you have a website or anything?
Yes, RizMirza.com, RizMirza, RizMirza.com. You can find out how to get psychic readings with me, how to join the retreats, and all sorts of goodies.
Awesome. We will put links to all of this in the summary of this episode. So if you're watching on Instagram, just go to Heal Squad on Instagram and click on the link, and you'll be able to find us and get this episode. In the meantime, thank you for being with us. Be nice people, make good choices, and be present.